So just out working on some leash work with Joker. Good boy. He'll usually pull when he gets excited, interested in something, and you just kind of run out of leash. He stops paying attention to you because he's too fixated and focused on either the dog or the smell that he wants to get to. A couple ways that we're able to kind of work on that are different tools. The first one, of course, is just the leash. Teaching him that when there's pressure on the leash, to stop and come back, right? Pay attention to us, good boy. And he gets a reward. Either the praise or some pets. And that's good for positive reinforcement and just overall good skills to learn on the lead, right? When there's that tension, can't continue driving forward, has to stop, figure out what's going on. Good boy. Yes, up here. Good. Joker. One more time. Yes, good boy. So that's a good positive way for him to learn how to respond when he gets that tension on the lead and start pulling. Usually a couple different problems with this is that when he gets too excited and too fixated on something else, it's harder for him to calm down and redirect back to us, even though he knows and feels that pressure on the lead. Good boy. Yes. Same thing here. Yes, good boy. This is working because we momentarily get his focus back when he feels the tension on the lead and pays attention to what's going on. Now we add directional pressure, whether we're going left or right. Good boy. Turning around to kind of use the leash to give him, good boy, even more feedback, right? Yes, good boy. Make it more pronounced by either making a sharper tension on the lead, good boy, or by adding directional pressure. And both of those things will make it so it's harder for him to just ignore that pressure on the leash when he's pulling forward. This is also where a lot of that self-discipline, consistency comes into play, right? So if you wanted him to always walk close to you, you would have to always be there at first to let him know when he's already gone too far, right? So in that case, we've already missed the moment. We'll rewind it back, get him back in behind us. What? Gonna use both leash pressure and my body to block him. Just the person there that he was interested in. Good boy. Okay. So now he's walking next to us. If he starts going too far in front, we can use that pressure on the lead to let him know. Slow down. Pay attention. Good boy. Yes. Yes, good boy. Alright, so slow down. Pay attention. Good boy. Again. Good boy. Good boy. Alright. So as soon as he starts going too fast or going too fast, we let him know that he's about to do something wrong. Right? Same thing again. So he's too far ahead, his focus is in front, so it's easy for him to lose track of what we're doing from behind, and all we're doing is communicating through the lead. Joker, come. Good. Good boy. So instead of pulling him back to that heel command, I want him to learn to come back on his own. So when there's tension on the lead, Joker, come. Touch. Good boy. Joker. Getting distracted. Good boy. This way. There you go. Good boy. Right. So he always gets rewarded in that heel area. Another thing that can help, especially if there's quite a mess over there. Come here, Dad. Something else that can definitely help, especially when eventually if you wanted to go hiking or having him off leash, being able to have a more reliable recall, is to introduce tone training and vibrate training or that static training. So right now, good boy. Right? So here, to help him build that association, once he starts pulling, I'm gonna beep first, and then if he ignores that, then I'll vibrate, and then if he ignores that, then he'll get a shock. So that way he starts with the opportunity to redirect when he feels that pressure like he knows he should. But if he doesn't, good boy. If he doesn't, that's when you have at least the backup and the consistency of consequences to help to motivate him to do the right thing. We always want to start off with the opportunity for him to do the right thing and get that positive reinforcement with the treats and such. But especially if he's not used to it, good boy. Right? So right there, he kept pulling after the beep, so we went up to the vibrate. Good boy. And that's all we're using right now. So long as he is responding, there's really no need to continue adding additional or harsher consequences. Good boy. Right? And using this method will allow you to be able to keep him close to you even though you're not applying any leash pressure. Right? We'll wait here for a good example. Okay. Good boy. Okay. So ignored the beep, but then ran into the leash, and then paid attention to that. So we'll try again. Joker. Good boy. So as soon as he starts to go too far from the side, if that's what you're looking for was a tight heel, the beep. Good boy. Vibrate, back in. Good boy. Right? He's just getting distracted by the person walking with the music there. And that's where his interest and his focus went. You'll find the more that you have his focus, of course, the easier your walk is going to be. And it just depends on how you'd like to walk your dog. A lot of people would like their dog to maintain focus on them the entire time and not smell anything or be interested in other people or dogs. And that will give you the best walking behavior. I personally like them to be able to smell and explore, get to use their nose. And all I really care about is when they start pulling too much. Good boy. So that's what I'm going to correct. Every pup is going to be different, and every handler is going to be different. So it's mostly dependent on how you want your dog trained, right? Some people also would like only positive reinforcement training, which is understandable. It might take a while longer with more conditioning or higher value treats. If we were holding a rotisserie chicken with us while we're walking, we'd be able to maintain full attention and control of him, because what he wants, what's the most interesting thing, is something that we have control of. It's hard for parents sometimes to realize. It's just the fact that we don't always have control of all the scents and the entire environment around us, and that's what's mostly causing the problems of the pulling. So right now he's walking really well. He gets to explore. If he starts to go too far, good boy. Hits that tension on the leash or the beep, and he comes back, checks in for a reward, and we start going again. So for Joker, I really just want him to refocus whenever there's tension on the lead. Good boy. And because we've practiced leash pressure before this as well, I can trigger that training response by turning into a different direction. Good boy. And he knows to follow. And then back this way. Good boy. And then a stop. Good boy. And then back this way. Good boy. Good boy. All right, let's go. Boy. So you see there, he started pulling because he was interested in what was going on with probably people moving in. And he just lost track of where I was and how much leash that he had. So all I had to do is just remind him. Okay? And if I want him to ignore that, I'll just create some leash pressure by continuing to walk forward. This way we both get to enjoy our walk. Very good, boy. Right? Want him to learn his own self-discipline of seeing something that he's interested in and not feeling like he has to overreact and pull towards it. Because as soon as he starts doing that, that's when he's going to get a consequence, as opposed to getting the reward of pulling to whatever he wants to get to. Yes, good boy. Thank you. This way. Right? Yes, good boy. Yes, good boy. There you go. Good boy. So long as you stay consistent with both either the positive reward and the conditioning behaviors of the leash and the leash pressure, as well as the negative side of the rewards like beeping, and then if he ignores that, vibrating, and then if he ignores that, shocking or pulling harder or anything else of any kind of higher consequence. So long as you continuously do that and it's a hard enough consequence for him to not want to, you give him plenty of opportunities to do the right thing on the first try. Good boy. And he'll learn what he needs to do to avoid those harsher consequences and or get that reward and that positive feedback and interaction from you. Just getting distracted with the kids inside playing and yelling a little bit. Following his nose and starting to pull. Good boy, perfect. Right? So that time, we just let the leash pressure do the work and the training that we've put in. We didn't need to beep or vibrate. We actually haven't even needed to shock as well. And this is just Joker. Every dog and every owner is going to be different. Good boy. Some owners will not have as much time to dedicate to training and the conditioning that it requires for him to understand how to respond all the time on his own. And so we'll accelerate by having harsher corrections so that way he has to respond faster. Whereas there are going to be owners and dogs on the opposite end, right? You'll have some dogs that are like labs, and so long as you take your treat pouch with you on your walk and give them a bone every now and then for not pulling, they'll be more than happy to always walk by your side. Whereas some other dogs are more independent, more excited about the world, and those are the times when either the treats or the balls or the leash, things like that, just don't have enough value for them to want them to have to maintain focus on you. Good boy. But yeah, tone training is good just because outside of having to yell his name across the field or something, especially if he's at a dog park or if you're out on a hike, you'll be able to have some more space, hit the button, and have him come back to you. Good boy. And that's why conditioning with the leash is good, and then teaching him to respond without the leash is also good. And like I said, you could always do the same thing. You might have to yell more, depending on how far he is. Good boy. Joker. Yes, good boy. Good job, big guy. Yeah.